Right. NFC West preview. I think it's the easiest division for predicting a winner. If you are a betting man, I am not. I always bet on myself. Got my Chris Carter jersey. All he does is catch touchdowns. August 23rd here in New York. Looking forward to the U.S. Open starting next week. Yankees and Mets, like I said, last couple of weeks. Fans ready to jump off buildings here. Broadcasters on the radio making obscene arguments, just totally foolish. And then we have the world's worst sporting event I've felt for many years. The Little League World Series is on. It's not about the kids of the game anymore. It's about your walk-up song. It's about parents acting like jackasses and calling the most attention to themselves when it's a kid's sporting event. It's like LeBron at an AAU game, watching his son. But again, I said it's been getting worse every year, and every year it just does get worse. It is an event that used to show one game, and now we got prelim tourneys, and must be really easy to coach their kids after all this stuff and launch angle and every other thing. It just must be just wonderful to coach these youngsters after they've been told how wonderful they are all the time. But hey, that's where we at. So NFC West, he got the Niners, got the Cardinals, got the Seahawks, and you got the Rams. NFC West has interesting schedules. Got one of the harder division schedules. They play the AFC North, which is no joke, and the NFC East. So those are 8 tough games. NFC East is brutal. AFC North is brutal. So unless you can count on the Deadskins being bad. By the way, it's funny how there's a couple of tribes who are protesting and want the Redskins name back, but you won't hear that in the media. But we know why that is, left-wing media. But so the Deadskins trying to get that name back. Best logo, one of the best logos in sports. But if you can count on beating them, which they're not a bad team, they did make some crazy quarterback decisions over the offseason, but we'll talk about that when we get to the NFC East preview. I figured the NFC West was worse than the NFC North only because of the lack of consistency. I feel like the Cardinals and the Rams will both be bad. I know the Niners are better than anybody in the NFC North, but I think the NFC North is a little bit more consistent. We do have some question marks in the NFC North, but I feel like any one of those 4 teams could have a successful year, whereas I know the Cardinals aren't, and I'm pretty sure the Rams aren't. I expect the Seahawks to take a step backwards, but maybe they won't. Geno Smith, can he repeat that same year? So I feel like we're going to be quite the squad here in the NFC North, but we're going to do the NFC West today. The Niners definitely the heavy favorite here, as I have my got my Viking shades ready to go. Got the slick back hair, looking good. So if you look at it, the key thing here in the NFC, we do the schedule rating by ProFootballNetwork.com, and they figure out the games, the times of the games, the amount of travel, what the other team's schedule was before you play them. When you play them, of course, is always a very important thing. I've told you before, I'm a big schedule guy. The Cardinals have the 12th toughest schedule in the league. The Rams have the 7th, Niners have the 15th, and the Hawks have the 11th. You say, well, how could the Niners have a tougher schedule than the Rams? Again, we're not just going by last year's records of teams. They're considering other factors here as well. So let's start out with the Cards. The Cards, Murray's hurt. So we got McCoy playing quarterback, Colt McCoy, one of my faves. Still can't believe he got hurt in the national championship game. It's been all downhill from there as far as getting an opportunity. Can James Conner be good? Got Ertz at tight end. You got Prater as a kicker, and I never really include kickers, but he is a weapon unto himself, Prater. An amazing kicker, but I feel like this team will come in last in the division. But then again, new coach in there. Maybe they get some new life. Maybe they have maybe they win a game early and keeps them motivated until Murray gets back. And Murray, they overpaid for him, so that's going to be a noose around their neck for a long time. But I just don't see the Cards getting out of the basement here. Again, I don't see them beating anybody in the AFC North or the NFC East. Now, of course, they will. They're not going to go 0-8 in those games probably. But I'm thinking like a 4 or 5 win season for the Cards, maybe less. The Rams, Stafford, Akers, and Cooper Kupp, Aaron Donald, and that is it. And McVay is, I don't know, when you can't make statements that you're not really that into it anymore and then expect to come back and have people lay it on the line for you physically in a sport where you could lose your livelihood and your ability to walk and your life, as we saw last year, almost by laying it on the line. So your coach going to come back and say he's really been distracted and not that into it. I can't believe he stuck around for a 3rd year. Second year after the Super Bowl, I should say, more than a third year overall. But no, I wouldn't let him stick around if he makes that kind of statement. I exit him to the door. Coaching is not for the faint of heart as far as being invested. I thought he'd either go to the booth, which I think he'd be a natural for, or he'd go wait for that big pound of money and bag of money and go somewhere else and take a year off and do that. But I don't see the Rams getting out of third place in this division. Maybe they rise up and get to 9-8. We'll see. Again, tough non-league schedule there, and I say non-league by not division games. The 6 division games, obviously, they can beat the Cards. They're definitely capable of beating the Hawks. They always play the Niners tough, but I just don't see the Niners losing here. I guess Trey Lance looks like a bust. Although, Purdy might be healthy. He's way ahead of schedule. You got McCaffrey, you got Samuel, you got Ayuk, you got Kittle. You got Bosa with a little bit of a contract problem on the other side. They pick up the Eagles' #1 pass rusher. The Niners, on paper, I think them and the Eagles have the best talent in the NFC. Whether that totally predicts out or not, we'll have to find out. But again, that doesn't mean you win. You have to be healthy. You got to get a little bit of luck, and things have to go your way. But at the same time, I still think the Niners are going to win this division by default. You say, yeah, the Hawks were good last year. You're right. The Hawks were good last year. You got Geno, you got Metcalf, Walker's a good running back, Lockett, you got Fant at tight end. That's a good thing. The defense has got Wagner at linebacker. You got Adams and Diggs at safety. Hopefully, if Adams can stay healthy, and the Hawks could maybe repeat a 9-8. But again, very tough non-league schedule. That's why I just don't see high win totals maybe for anybody but the Niners. AFC North is brutal. Bengals, Browns, Steelers, Ravens. I mean, good Lord. Yeah, you can go 2-2 there if you're lucky. But the Browns are not going to be a pushover with Deshaun back there. It's just not going to happen. And AFC East is freaking brutal itself. I mean, maybe, like I said, maybe you beat the Deadskins, but even them defensively are going to be tough. We'll see. It's just, it's going to be tough. So this division, I think, is saddled with the most boring division as far as, any mystery here. The Niners are clearly the best team in the division. Watch them go out and not win the division, but that's happened before. We've seen this happen many a time. But the NFC West, like I said, tough schedule all the way around. Like I said, playing the AFC North. Only thing worse than that would be playing the AFC West, which is just brutal in itself. But again, they didn't get any favors. They didn't get either one of the Southern divisions, which would be great to play the AFC South, the NFC South, which I think is very fortunate in these last couple of years. They've been the 2 most down divisions. So it's it always comes down to how you break up the divisions and the good or bad luck of who you're playing and when you're playing them, and what year it comes up that you're on that rotation system of playing the South in each year right now. So like I said, my Vikings, they're playing the NFC South, so I'm grateful for that. But that doesn't mean they're easy games, especially for the Vikes, who have ability to make anybody look good. Rosie just stepped in the booth. Hey, Rosie. Hey, girl. We don't edit here and tell them like it is. Never have, never will. So Rosie stepped in the booth, so she's doing a good job here. She wants a raise 1 biscuit more a year, and Lily's in the booth now. Lily is right in the booth also, the dachshund. Rosie's a mixture, man. She's a greyhound and a border collie. She is some crazy athlete. I'd like to have her play wide receiver for the Vikings. You throw it, she's going to go get it. But like I said, so having a good time here, waiting for the football season. Next, I'm probably going to have to go with the NFC North in my poll of 20 people voted, former players and people who follow football. I think the NFC North would be the 5th best or the 4th worst division in football. Pains me to say that, but I think that's pretty clear. It was a toss-up between the NFC West and the NFC North to see who was the 3rd worst division in football. Like I said, I hate to say that, but I just don't think we're going to be that good in our division. I think we're going to have 4 teams that could definitely make some hay, but I don't think anybody is great, and I don't think anybody is terrible. That's why I had them over the NFC West. But again, Cards 12th, toughest schedule. Rams 7th, Niners 15th, Hawks 11th. Plenty of talent in the division, but I just don't see a great ability in this division for anybody. Again, the program here, telling like it is, we're on iHeartRadio. We got Spotify. We got all of it. Give us a shout. Let us know what you think. We'll be on Friday for the NFC North and my Vikings. Hopefully we'll be getting a division title. Hopefully we'll be getting a 2nd in a row. And that would be a great thing. We'll see you then. Go Vikes.